Okay, I'm not sure what the heck's going on with this stuff. I'm sure it shows that I'm live twice. This is flipping crazy. I'm afraid I'm going to do the wrong one. I don't know why they've got it set up like this. I need to learn the StreamYard again. You guys can hear me okay, right? Okay, let me check something here. I don't understand what's going on with this stuff. I mean, it's kind of crazy, you guys, but you guys can hear me okay? Thank you, Poppy. Thank you very much. Thank you, Deb. Good to see you, darling. Okay, so I want to be very sensitive with this case. And okay, I want to see something else here for a minute. I am so afraid I'm gonna get rid of you guys. Well, I'm live 3 times, but I don't know why I'm live 3 times. That's what I'm afraid of. If I get rid of one, I'm afraid I'll get rid of the wrong one. Okay, we're gonna try this. Hold on. Okay, so hopefully we got rid of one. Let me see how I can do this without screwing everything up. Oh, Jesus. I'm not sure what they're doing here. Why I'm live twice. They also said that they've had trouble with, hold on, let me see something here. Okay, let me go into my videos. And I'm going to try to get rid of one. Hopefully I'm not getting rid of you guys. For real. I will be very upset. Okay, let's get rid of... If I get rid of somebody, don't be mad. Okay, we're going to get rid of this one. Okay, please be the right one. Okay, I think we did it. Okay, wait, there's another one here. Let me get rid of it. Let's get rid of that one. What in the world is going on? I don't know, but I think I got it. I think we got one now. We got one stream up here. I do want to say this, like I said, we are going to be very sensitive about this case. Very heartbreaking. There it goes. This video's unavailable. Okay, we're okay. Everybody's here, right? Okay, I think everybody's here. Why does that say scheduled? Oh, it's telling me to go live. Okay, hold on. Hold on, you guys. Oh, my gee. I'm gonna be so mad if this isn't the right one. This is just craziness. Okay, we should be okay now, I hope. I apologize, you guys. This stuff is just crazy. This stuff is just cray. Okay, is everybody here? I didn't mess anybody up too bad. Oh, my goodness. Okay, Poppy's here. I see everybody. You guys see me and hear me now? Can you hear me now, people? I hope so. I hope this has gotten straightened out. This case I haven't covered very much. I want to be very, very sensitive. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. Hey, H. Davis, good to see you. Good to see all you guys, for real. Thank you, Courtney. Good to see you also, Courtney. I'm not sure what is going on. I've got to figure it out because for some reason, hey, Minnie Pearl, good to see you, darling. Thank you, Flies. Flies, thank you so much for being so supportive of my channel. It means the world to me. You have helped my channel so much. You know, I appreciate you. I do. Good. One live now. Thank you, H. Davis. Once these start being read, that will be needed. Absolutely. We are giving all the love we have and prayers to Brandy and her family. This is such a sad case, So I want to kind of give you guys an idea of what has transpired in the MonkeyVaughen case. And hold on. MonkeyVaughen was last seen near SW 9th Street and S Arizona Avenue in Fruitland on a Tuesday evening. Everyone was out looking for Michael. Okay. They are continuing to search for Michael. He still has not been found. It is heartbreaking. Michael is 3 feet tall, 7 inches tall, 3 feet 7 inches tall, and weighed approximately 50 pounds when he went missing. He has blonde hair and blue eyes. His nickname is Monkey. When Michael went missing, he was wearing a light blue shirt with a Minecraft picture on it, dark blue boxer briefs, and sandals. This is so heartbreaking. Let's come over. So, how do I want to start this? This is so sad. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Kathy S. Kathy with a K. Hey, Joanne. Oh, I think I already said hi, Joanne. Okay. I'll say hi, Joanne, twice. All right. Give me 1 second. It is very heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. Okay. So 4 years after Michael Vaughen disappeared, one of the people police believe is responsible has been charged with first-degree red rum. That is a man by the name of Stacey Wondra. He lived blocks away from Michael Vaughen. Blocks away. We heard him on interviews with different individuals. I'm going to pull up a picture now of the 4 individuals that are suspects in Michael's disappearance. And I tried to make sure I wanted to get pictures of all 4 of them. And Stacey Wondra had a warrant issued for first-degree red rum, second-degree kidnapping, and destruction of evidence. He has not been extradited to Idaho as of October 31st. He is in federal prison at this time for a different crime. If I remember correctly, weapons charges. Stacey Wondra and his ex-wife Sarah and 2 other individuals were suspects or persons of interest in Michael Vaughen's case. One individual, I believe that JLR did an interview with while he sat in a hot tub drinking beer. Is Little Wing in here? Little Wing. Hey, darling. It is so good to see you. Hey, we. Hashtag love we. It is good to see you, Little Wing. I haven't seen you forever. Golden Grace is in here too. Well, it is good to see you. It is really good to see you, Little Wing. Okay, so these are the 4 individuals. The last breakthrough in the case was more than 2.5 years ago when crews used heavy equipment to dig up the Wondra's backyard. And I'm going to try really hard, you guys, to word this as gentle as I can. Because you guys know it's very hard for me not to, hey, just sugar. It is very hard for me not to just come right out and, you know, speak the verbiage that news organizations can use. But of course, here on YouTube, we can't. Hey, Courtney, for sure. So I'm just kind of nervous talking about this case for some reason. Police say they had credible information from someone living in the Wondra house that the young boy's remains were there. That would have been Stacey Wondra. There is an interview out there where Chris McDonough, I believe, was having a phone conversation with Stacey Wondra while he was being held by law enforcement. He admitted some really horrifying things. And in the beginning, his wife, Sarah Wondra, had initially been charged with failing to report a passing in November 2022 in connection with Michael's disappearance, but they dropped those charges that spring. They do believe that the remains were in the Wondra backyard and that they had been moved. They had been moved. That is so sad. Law enforcement have worked diligently at this case, for sure. $52,000 reward. I'm sure that still stands. Now, Sarah's in prison until 2026 on charges of aggravated assault and destruction, alteration, or concealment of evidence unrelated to Michael's disappearance. Okay? I can pull up those records. At this time, this is what Brandy had to say. All we wanted is for Michael to come home. Knowing that charges are coming forth to these monsters, we pray they finally tell us where Michael is. And I was so heartbroken when I watched Brandy. I'm going to try not to cry. When I watched Brandy talking to that monster and begging him to just tell her where her baby was. That's all she's ever wanted to know, was where her baby's at. She needs her baby home. She says, there's one thing that keeps ringing in my head right now, and it is something that J.D. Huff said. He said, you cannot take one of our most precious citizens and ever expect us to stop. Fruitland Police Department continues to live up to that statement, and we are going to get into these affidavits because I know that's why you guys are here. Let's get into these probable cause affidavits. You guys can find these, since I had to redo my my darned live stream, since I had 3 or 4 going at once. The link to Monkey's Army was in the description. We'll have to pull that back up, and can you grab that, Flies, for me and throw it in chat? Or Poppy? Thank you, Flies. And thank you for keeping me updated on this, for sure. So first we're going to read the criminal complaint from the state of Idaho versus Stacey Wondra. Now, the defense, this is count 1, part 1. This is Stacey Wondra. We'll be getting into Sarah's also. This case is heartbreaking to me. All children's cases are heartbreaking to me, but this one and Summers, I just get really emotional about. Okay, that the defendant Stacey James Wondra, on or about the 27th day of July 2021 in the county of Payette, state of Idaho, did willfully, unwillfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice, aforethought, unalive, and red rum, Michael, a human being, and or did willfully, unwillfully, and deliberately unalive and red rum Michael, a human being, in the perpetration or of or in attempted perpetration of a kidnapping. Okay, let's get over to the affidavit. It's going to say a lot there. These are just the counts. The counts. So, Stacey Wondra, I want to show you guys. I don't know if I've got it pulled up. I had a picture of just him. He is a horrible human being. Okay. So this is about Stacey Wondra. The defendant is alleged to have committed the following crimes between the dates of approximately July 27th, 2021 through 2025. First-degree red rum felony, kidnapping second-degree felony, destruction or concealment of evidence felony. The crimes were not committed in my presence. This is a peace officer employed by the Fruitland Police Department. I believe that there is probable cause to believe that the defendant committed such crimes because of the following facts. On July 27, 2021, neighbors reported seeing 5-year-old Michael between approximately 18:15 and 18:30 hours. 1800 is 6 o'clock. Okay, so around 6:15, 6:30, neighbors reported seeing Michael in the area. Okay. They say that Michael had knocked on some of the neighbors' doors, attempting to play with the neighbors or in their yards, and was told to return home by all the neighbors he contacted. And I have to say, I wish the neighbors would have made sure that Michael went home. At approximately 1845 to 1850 hours, which is 6:45 to 6:50, Michael's father, Tyler, noticed that his 5-year-old son, Michael, was missing from their home located in Fruitland, Idaho. Tyler began searching the home and property. He then called 911 to report his son missing at approximately 1921 hours. So at around 7:21 is when 911 was called. Fruitland Police Department and the FBI, along with other local law enforcement agencies and volunteers, searched for Michael over weeks and now years. Through interview searches, other corroborating evidence, all of Michael's family and household members have been determined to not have any knowledge of Michael's current location, nor were they involved in his disappearance. All of the neighbors on the Southwest 9th Street in Arizona have also not have any knowledge or involvement in the disappearance. The surrounding area was searched extensively, and Michael was never found. Live sent K9 teams searched the surrounding neighborhoods. August 2nd and 3rd, 2021, using a pair of Michael's shoes and Michael's scent. Out of approximately 300 homes, K9 handlers reported the dogs only showed interest in one house located at, and they took the address out. This is the home of Stacey and Sarah Wondra. A K9 handler also reported that K9 Banshee showed interest in the area of the corner of Meadowlark and Red Wing Street. The K9 showed interest at the intersection and then headed straight to the fence and front door of the Wondra residence. On August 3rd, 2021, K9 Banshee tracked scent down to a tree over the edge of the bluff off Southwest 8th Street and Three Rivers Way. The dog also determined to track the scent into the thorny bushes under the tree despite the thorns. A discarded child stroller was located deep in these thorny bushes, right? Hey, Gypsy. Well, Brandy wasn't home. If I remember correctly, I believe that she was at work. But I don't know. I'm not going to put that guilt on the neighbors because I'm sure that a lot of them, already feel some type of guilt. But I guess that would be something that, I mean, yeah, I did get snow, Gypsy. It's kind of melting now. Uh, right, Golden Grace. Right. Yeah, sick, twisted people. You better believe sick, twisted people. It bothers me too. People were paying this man. They were paying a man money for what? For what? He never came on anywhere and spoke the truth, in my opinion, right? Yes, thank you, Golden Grace. Tyler was changing the baby and had ordered food for them, if I remember correctly. Okay, so this is the factual information that they're saying. On August 5th, 2021, a pink big flyer tricycle was located behind the bluffs sign at Three Rivers Way and Southwest 8th Street. During a search of the same area the day prior, the tricycle was not there. Jim Smith, who lives in the Three Rivers subdivision, later reported he found the tricycle over the bluff under a tree next to a child stroller. Jim said he took it home to use one of the wheels for another project, but then discarded it after not removing the wheel as planned. Jim said he left it behind the bluff sign for neighborhood kids to use. Okay. Kim Elko, who would later report to law enforcement that she had seen the tricycle in the Wondra's garage during a yard sale in the spring of 2021. She was able to describe the layout of the Wondra's garage and where she saw the tricycle on a stack of boxes. The described stack of boxes was still there during a later search warrant of the Wondra's residence and garage. Okay, so that's two different individuals making statements right there. Dorothy Starkey, who was present at address redacted in Fruitland, reported on July 29th, 2021 that she saw Michael riding a big wheel tricycle at the corner of Red Wing Street and Meadowlark Avenue on July 27th as she was either entering or leaving the neighborhood. She is seen on surveillance video coming into the neighborhood at 18:25 hours, 6:25, and left the neighborhood at 19:25 hours. Other than Dorothy's report, there are no other reports of Michael being seen anywhere other than Southwest 9th Street and his next door neighbor's house on Arizona on the date of his disappearance. Video surveillance was gathered from security cameras in the neighborhood Michael disappeared from, as well as neighboring areas. Michael is never seen on any of the surveillance footage that was obtained. Stacey Wondra is captured on surveillance footage driving a white Lexus, pulling into a parking area of the splash pad in the neighborhood off of Southwest 8th Street at 15:23 hours on July 27, 2021. He is seen exiting the driver's door, walking around the passenger side of the car, and appears to be testing the exterior door handle to see if it's locked. He then walked back around the driver's side of the vehicle where he got in the driver's seat and exited the area onto Southwest 8th Street at 15:24 hours, 1 minute after arriving. Okay. So, oh, you're baking a carrot cake? That sounds so good, Gypsy. You know, May, I mean, this is the thing. Sometimes you don't think about things like that. You live in a neighborhood where your children grow up. Neighbors know your children. And it's a very cruel world. And sometimes parents don't think about that. They don't think about that, right? I mean, so sad. Okay, let me see where I was at. So, yes, Stacey Wondra at around 3:23, 15:23 would be around 3 23 is testing a door handle to see if it is locked. That's weird in itself. And that's a children's splash pad, right? Video surveillance shows an adult male walking in the area of Three Rivers Way at 18:08 hours on July 27, 2021. The same male is captured walking in the area of the neighborhood splash pad at 18:18 hours. The last image of the male is captured at 18:28 hours as he walked through the wooded area to the west back towards the area in which the Wondras lived. Brandon Shirtliff was identified in 2022 as being the person and told detectives during an interview that the surveillance video captured him as he was walking and searching for a missing child on the date Michael disappeared. The video captured Brandon walking prior to Michael being reported missing. Brandon reported that he was living with the Wondras on that date. And that's a crazy story. We'll try to go back through that, right? Okay, give me 1 second, you guys. I apologize. Give me 1 second. A child can get out of your sight in a matter of seconds from understanding as soon as title and notice. Yes, as soon as, yeah, I don't want to do that, Flies. I really don't. I don't want to make this live about, blaming anyone, except for the individuals that are guilty of what they did or allegedly guilty of what they did. So give me 1 second, you guys. I want to make sure I turn my coffee pot off. Okay, I apologize. Now in my head, I can hear Todd. I can hear Todd saying, "Turn my coffee pot off. You're gonna burn it up." Yeah, I don't. I mean, thank you, Gypsy, for popping in. Thank you very much, darling. It's good to see you. No, this was nobody's fault. This was nobody's fault. Look, this is what we know. Brandy was at work. Tyler was taking care of the kids. He did not intentionally let Michael go out the door to take off and never be seen again. I mean, for sure. This is not, you know, let's, And that can be your opinion. That can be your opinion, for real. Okay. So they already have Brandon Shirtliff going through a wooded area towards the Wondra residence. Then on August 1st, 2021, Fruitland police contacted the residents. On their initial search of the residence, they located Adrian Lucien hiding in a closet. Why was he hiding in a freaking closet? Residents of the home on that date and on July 27, 2021, were identified as a married couple named Stacey and Sarah Wondra. And their sublets, Brandon Shirtliff and Adrian Lucien. All four were interviewed on August 1st. Adrian was vague in his statements and wouldn't commit to a solid statement. He also refused to provide his Social Security number for identification confirmation. He provided Stacey's phone number as his own and concealed his real phone number from law enforcement. Why hasn't he also been arrested at this time? I do not know. Then on August 21st, 2021, Sarah Wondra reported that on July 27, 2021, she and Stacey slept until noon. She said they left the residence around 1700 hours to tow a vehicle to Kuna. They both denied they were home around 1830 hours on July 27th. So they denied even being at home. Cell phone tower data and surveillance footage showed Sarah, Stacey, Adrian, and Brandon were in the area of the neighborhood at the time Michael disappeared. Sarah, Adrian, and Brandon returned home to Fruitland. That was verified by surveillance in Sarah's blue Toyota Corolla at 1708 hours, only to leave again at 1712 hours. The Toyota that came back into the neighborhood again at 1756 hours. So, yeah, they were in that neighborhood. Surveillance footage shows Sarah driving the GMC pickup on July 27, 2021, as she drove out of the neighborhood at 1908 hours. Stacey had been identified as the front passenger, and Brandon was the driver's side rear passenger. Sarah, Stacey, and Brandon's phone data showed they were also located as they left the neighborhood at 1908 hours and drove to Kuna. Wondran's maroon GMC pickup truck was captured on surveillance footage returning to the Fruitland neighborhood at 23:22 hours on July 27, 2021, pulling and towing a silver Mercedes-Benz. Okay, now that was 3 of them allegedly in the vehicle. So where was the 4th one? Right? Yeah, we don't know, May. We don't know. Because that's a good possibility. I think, let me say this, I think where people are looking at the difference, okay, between Summer Wells case and Michael Vaughen case. Number one, Brandy was at work. Number two, the father was there. He was ordering dinner. He was changing the youngest child's diaper, doing dad things. And if you look at the situation with Dawn and Candace, they have not been cleared by law enforcement like Brandy and her family have. And you can't believe if Candace was not on that hill, it wasn't because she was going to work. So yeah, I mean, yes, it is very hard. But yeah, absolutely. Hey, Mrs. T. Adrian was picked up here where I live for breaking into a car. His court date was in October, but he didn't come back. Oh, so he has a warrant out right now. And I'll show you guys their pictures again here pretty soon. Okay. So the Mercedes-Benz was being towed, wasn't it, to Brandon's residence? Brandon's mother's residence or something. Okay, now we're going to get into a little bit about Sarah and the weird stuff that she was putting out on Facebook and stuff. So, following Michael's disappearance, Sarah had a distinct change in behavior. Following Michael's disappearance, Sarah began to stand along the highway near Love's gas station in Ontario, Oregon, with signs stating to repent your sins and the end of time was near. Right? Kind of weird, right? Remember that, you guys, when she was doing all that weird stuff? Sarah's social media posts on TikTok and Facebook also changed drastically to religion and asking for forgiveness of her sins. Prior to Michael's abduction, Sarah had posted only approximately 11 videos on TikTok over 3 years. Following Michael's abduction, Sarah posted approximately 329 videos from September 15, 2021 through December 24th of 2021. In TikTok videos Sarah posted, Sarah made testimony statements regarding her involvement in criminal behaviors and stated that she had broken all 10 of the 10 commandments. It should be noted that thou shalt not kill is one of those 10 commandments. Sarah also alleged in her videos that it did not matter what sin she had committed because God had forgiven her for all of them. Okay, all right. You guys know where my mind's going with that, right? Oh, really? That's interesting, Mrs. T. Very interesting. But no, you guys' opinions, I'm not gonna come at you for your opinions, okay? That's not my intention to do that because my channel is based on people's opinions and theories and things like that. So I definitely understand where people come from when they do want to place blame sometimes where others don't see that. Don is religious, would always said something religious. Whatever he said, he would have made people accuse him or Candace. Even the boys were accused of harming Summer. And let me say this. Do you guys remember the SDA. I can't remember if it was in a book but it was a story. It was a story, something about a man that had unalived some people, and he went and hid in the woods, and God forgave him, and it was really weird, you guys. Do you guys remember that? No, I get it, Flies. I get it. I mean, there's no sense. There's if the blame is going to be put out, it needs to be put out on these 4 individuals. Even though innocent until proven guilty, they've done something. In my opinion, they've done something. Okay. Oh, St. Joseph County. Okay, here we go. All right, girls. All right, I love you girls, okay? I get it. I know you're speaking your mind. Okay. I love you guys, for real. But I understand both of you, okay? I get it. Okay. So Sarah was acting weird and, said that she had repented and God forgave her. And Michael's missing person flyer can be seen on a refrigerator in the background of some of her videos. So you guys remember that, right? When she showed Michael's missing poster on her refrigerator. For sure. Okay. Sarah was interviewed again by law enforcement November 15, 2021. Stacey was also interviewed after being confronted with the photo of her leaving the neighborhood on July 27, 2021, driving the GMC pickup truck at 19:08 hours. Sarah changed her story, said she was driving the GMC to get Brandon's Mercedes-Benz from Kuma to tow it back to Fruitland. Sarah said the trip to Kuna to get the car had not been previously planned, and that it was Stacey who wanted to get the car at the time and date. Sarah said she stopped at Southwest 8th Street and South Arizona on the way out of the neighborhood to input the address. Why would she have to input the address into the GPS if Brandon was with her? Sarah said she drove to 2518 North Snowball in Kuna, which is Brandon's mother's home. It is worth noting Brandon was in the truck with them when they entered the GPS coordinates to go to his mother's house. And Sarah and Brandon's cell phone data shown them at the residence earlier that day. So if they were already at the residence earlier that day and he was in the vehicle, why would they have to put the address into the GPS? Brandon's mother was out of town at the time. Sarah said Brandon's mother, Tina, did not allow Brandon to have people in her home when she was not there. So Sarah and Stacey parked down the road, and Brandon used a back gate on the south side to enter the residence so that her doorbell camera did not capture him there. Sarah says the tow strap broke while towing the car back to Fruitland. Oh my goodness. Sarah and Stacey Wondra sold their phones, lost or sold their vehicles, and got rid of the furniture shortly after Michael went missing. What? What? What's up, Taylor? Hadn't seen you forever either. Okay. That says a lot. Why would they do that? Sarah was asked about changing her phones following Michael's abduction. Sarah provided 2 reasons. She said they sold their phones because she and Stacey were splitting up, and Sarah said they sold their phones because a demon told her to. What? What? A vehicle was repoed and they sold the others? Okay, so, and then she says a demon told her to. Sarah was still paying on the phones that she sold. Sarah was asked about her Facebook post and provided the following responses. I literally had like a demon tell me that I need to leave my husband. She stated, I literally deleted all of my pictures. I have no ideas what my passwords are. We had a fight. My husband and I had to sell our phones and we had to get new phones, and I cannot access any of my stuff. So I do have Facebook, just don't have the access to it right now. When asked about the vehicle Sarah and Stacey have, Sarah said that the GMC pickup was repossessed. Sarah said she told Stacey when they heard the repo guys were coming to take the truck, we are going to be the nicest repo they've ever had today. Law enforcement was later told that the truck appeared to have been thoroughly cleaned prior to the repo. Wow. Following the interview on November 15th, Brandon reported Sarah and Stacey contacted him and told him that they were re-interviewed about Michael's abduction. Brandon and Stacey suggested Brandon come over to their place and create an alibi or write a letter on behalf of Sarah and Stacey saying that they were not involved in Michael's abduction. Brandon's mother, Tina Moriel, was interviewed by law enforcement. Tina reported that Brandon's behavior changed after he lived with the Wondras. Tina explained Brandon became more depressed and withdrawn, spending more time playing video games, smoking marijuana. Tina would not tell law enforcement where Brandon was or what his phone number was at that time. When he was in the hot tub, right? Wasn't he I thought he was at his mother's then. I could be wrong. Okay. Kay Ramsey, Sarah's mother, was interviewed and shown pictures of the tricycle described above. Kay claimed she found the tricycle in some bushes prior to Michael's abduction. The bushes that Kay described are near where Mr. Smith found the tricycle just after Michael's abduction. Kay said that she said that would be the reason her DNA would be on the tricycle. So Sarah's mother's already claiming if my DNA's on that tricycle, here's why. Kay said that after all of her efforts, she left it at the intersection of Three Rivers Way, Southwest 8th Street. Kay was 73 years old in July of 2021, and the bushes were very difficult to get into. Kay Ramsey also confirmed to law enforcement that Sarah and Stacey's dog had dug holes in the backyard of the Red Ring residence. Kay reported the dog had dug up what was later determined to be the ear of a green stuffed animal. Kay said she had thrown away the stuffed ear. She also is alleged to have withheld information and or evidence in other criminal investigation involving her daughter Sarah in 2022. She initially concealed a firearm used in an aggravated assault in which Sarah was later convicted. When law enforcement met with Sarah on October 12, 2022, Sarah said God told her he was going to help her find the boy. Trigger warning, you guys. Thank you, Flies. You were reading my mind because I was reading. Yes. During the interview, at the first mention of Michael, Sarah became emotional and broke down crying in front of the detective. Sarah wrote in a testimony and said that if law enforcement read it, they would locate Michael. Sarah suggested God had forgiven Hitler for his sins, that God had redeemed Sarah for her sins. What? Thank you for dropping that link. I'm actually reading these, and I also I'm also giving True Crime with Eve credit, because I am reading these off of I think it's her TikTok or something, because it's a lot bigger. I can see it a lot better. Right? So already she's trying to show that she's crazy, right? Christy Kutch told detectives prior to Sarah's arrest, April of 2022, she made a statement about Stacey being involved in the abduction of a 5-year-old boy. Christy said she made personal notes of their conversation. In June of 2022, there was a recorded jailhouse call between Sarah and Christy where Sarah advised Stacey had been arrested. Christy asked if he had been charged with the kidnapping of a 5-year-old boy. Sarah recanted her prior statements, claiming that Christy misunderstood her prior comments. Also mentioned how Sarah's dog was digging large holes in the backyard. But yet the cadaver dogs hit in that backyard. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Miss T. I don't see anything. Where did you send it? I do not have it. But thank you. I'll show their pictures and stuff in a minute. Okay. I showed them at the beginning of the live. On November 5th, 2022, at 0:55 hours, Stacey Wondra contacted the Fruitland police and requested an interview at the Washington County Jail. Stacey provided vague details about the events surrounding Michael's abduction. Stacey and Sarah's religious beliefs and behavior changes started within a couple days of Michael's abduction. After Stacey's arrest for an unrelated incident, Stacey spoke of changing phones and or SIM cards to prevent law enforcement to follow or profile him. On November 10, 2022, Stacey asked again to speak with the Fruitland police detectives. He wanted a deal. The same offer that was given to Sarah in Michael's case. Stacey admitted Michael had been in the house the night of his abduction. Stacey admitted the tricycle had been in the garage where Kim Elko had previously described seeing it. Oh, Lord. This is so sad. Yeah, I don't know where you sent him to, Mrs. T. But, I mean, okay. Oh, wait, it might be in my... Hold on. Let me check something here real quick. Nope, not in there. Okay, hold on. Let me get back to where I was. Did I just mess myself up here? No, I didn't. Okay, so yes, the tricycle was in the garage. Stacey then said that when he first saw Michael, Sarah was carrying him into their house. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. This is going to get a little graphic. I saw a strange one this week. Girl faked her pregnancy from start to finish, even tricked everyone around her, faked the birth with a baby born dog. Her family got suspicious. Well, yeah, I figured that they would figure out that the baby was fake. Yeah, we'll pull that stuff up, Karen, here pretty soon. We'll get to that stuff. Right now, I'm trying to just concentrate on Stacey and Sarah in these affidavits. Stacey then said that when he, okay, trigger warning, and I apologize. This is horrible. Stacey then said he first saw Michael. Sarah was carrying him into the house. Stacey said that he was then put in a duffel bag to transport him out of their house and to Brandon's house in Kuna. Stacey said Sarah was frantic trying to figure out what to do, and Brandon interjected. Brandon says to Sarah, "I've got a duffel bag." Stacey then described Michael as crying, and to prevent him from moving or making noise, Stacey described how Sarah used duct tape to make Michael be quiet. When asked who put Michael in the bag, Stacey said Brandon grabbed the bag and gave it to Sarah. Sarah picked him up as Adrian helped hold the sides of the bag open, and they put him in the duffel bag. Stacey said that there was wiggling and trying to get away. Stacey said he could see into the bag where he seen Michael with his knees bent up in a fetal position while describing and demonstrating how Michael was taped and stuffed into the duffel bag in the living room. Oh, your community post. Okay. Stacey then had a physical reaction and began violently vomiting. When asked if he was vomiting because of the chewing tobacco he was using, he indicated he was throwing up because of the stress of talking about little Michael MonkeyVaughen. This is horrible. So sad. Stacey then provided 2 reasons they stopped in the GMC at the corner of Southwest 8th Street and South Arizona and Fruitland. 1, for Stacey to put power steering fluid into the vehicle, and 2, so Brandon could check to see if Michael was still, I hate to even read this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is graphic. This is graphic. To check to see if Michael was still alive because he was bound with duct tape and stuffed into the duffel bag in the bed of the truck. Now, let me tell you how sick this individual is. He makes sure he puts power steering fluid in the vehicle. Stacey said he was able to hear Michael making noises like a dull scream. Stacey said they were worried about being seen because they saw a car parked off of South Arizona. Stacey said they drove straight through to Brandon's house in Kuna, Idaho, where Brandon grabbed both the bags, the duffel containing Michael and a backpack, and went into the house by himself. Stacey said that once they arrived in Kuna, Michael was not making any more noises, and none of them had checked on him to verify he was still alive. Stacey said that Brandon told him he left Michael in the bag and put him in the spare room inside his mother's house. Why? Why? They drove Brandon's car back to Fruitland. Oh, towed. I'm sorry. They towed Brandon's car back to Fruitland. Stacey said Sarah and Brandon and Adrian went to Kuna the next day to get the duffel bag. The 3 of them brought the remains back to their house in Fruitland. He stated he was inside. Brandon was on guard, and Sarah and Adrian dug the hole together. So it sounds to me like Stacey Wondra is kind of pushing himself away from it, right? Kind of pushing himself away from the situation. He's saying he's seen this happening, but he wasn't involved. That's what he's saying, right? And I will apologize again, you guys. This is such a sensitive case. Stacey reported he did not previously report this information because he thought he would get into trouble, and because he was afraid of his wife, Sarah Wondra, hurting him. In an interview, Stacey stated that Michael had a stuffed animal, some sort of stuffed animal, I want to say, like a dinosaur or a monkey. And what I saw was a monkey, was a green, looked like a green monkey. In one interview, Stacey advised the lime green monkey was a dog toy that he and Sarah gave to Michael to keep him quiet while he was sitting on the couch in the living room. What could have this is an innocent little 5-year-old baby. Additionally, Stacey stated that the idea was to take a child and sell for money. The idea was Adrian, Stacey says, and they would get a $10,000 cut. Stacey was asked if Sarah provided any direction throughout any part of this. Stacey said that Sarah asked him and Brandon to follow her lead, which was to take the kid. Stacey recalled that most of the conversation at that point was Sarah trying to figure out what they were going to do. Sarah had asked Brandon, where should we put the remains? And Brandon was like, well, you guys can take him over to my house and we'll deal with it. And that will buy us some time. This is nuts. So little innocent Michael is outside playing in the neighborhood, probably something he had done many, many, many times. The neighbors, were like, Michael, you go on home now. And Michael didn't go on home. And these horrible people see Michael and they immediately start thinking of okay. Following his interview with law enforcement, Stacey called his mother, Tamara Johnson, from the Washington County Jail on a video visit. She asked Stacey if Michael was alive. Stacey shook his head no and said Sarah accidentally unalived him. She asked how, and Stacey said trigger warning, suffocation, and went on to say they buried him in a duffel bag. After his interview and phone call to his mother, Stacey wrote an apology letter to Michael's parents and then attempted to, trigger warning, hang himself in his jail cell. But that was not successful. Oh my gosh. But see, that's what I don't understand, because weren't they talking about Sarah talking about wanting children and stuff? It should be noted that during some part of Stacey's incarceration in the Washington County Jail prior to his confession and directions on where to find Michael, Sarah was out of custody and living back in the house on Red Ring Street, as evidenced by her being there when law enforcement arrived to execute the search warrant. Sarah could have had the time and the ability to move any evidence from the property without Stacey's knowledge. So Stacey basically says that, yes, Sarah, they put Michael in one location. Stacey ends up going to jail, and obviously they had moved Michael's remains. In June of 2022, Sarah called Kay Ramsey from jail and spoke about spouses being able to testify against each other. In a recorded phone call from the Washington County Jail, Sarah, Stacey expressed concern that Sarah was going to harm him or turn on him. Sarah confirmed that Stacey was referring to Michael. Sarah told Stacey She had already told her attorney that she wasn't going to turn on Stacey and that she wasn't going to testify against Stacey. Stacey then reassured Sarah that he would never testify against her. When the search warrant was executed on November 12th, Stacey described the exact location as where to find the remains in the backyard of the residence. He instructed them through video chat. I believe that's when he was speaking with Chris McDonough. It doesn't sound like it, does it, we? It does not sound like it. Sarah Wondra was located at the residence at the time and was detained. As she was read the search warrant, she made several strange statements. Wow, that is a lot, definitely. That is a lot, but I definitely did not kill that boy. The Most High God already told me who did it. Oh, wow. Wow. The Most High God just told me that Stacey was the one who unalived him and put him in the yard of Carson's house. She also said the Most High God told her Stacey was the one that unalived him and buried him. The Most High God just told me that Stacey was the one who did it. He wants me to make sure you understand that I had nothing to do with it. He said Stacey put him in the backyard by the shed. It wasn't actually Stacey who harmed the boys. As officers started to search the residence, Sarah asked several times if the officers had found him yet. Oh, Jesus. That is when they executed the search warrant at the Wondra residence, along with 5 separate certified cadaver canines. Prior to the backyard being dug up, the canines were deployed and alerted in the backyard. A total of 5 certified cadaver canines were deployed, and all 5 alerted inside the Wondra's backyard in the approximate area where Stacey claimed he witnessed Sarah and Adrian burying the remains. No remains were found in the backyard. Yes, there were several holes that appeared to have been dug and filled in the backyard. But Kay and Ed Ramsey stated that Sarah and Stacey's dogs had dug the holes. At various interviews after Michael's disappearance, Stacey was asked what happened to his and Sarah's cell phones from July of 21. Stacey and Sarah wanted to detract attention, so we are not on the radar, and that was the reason they sold the phones. If there was evidence of the crimes on these phones, Stacey said there were text messages. The investigation revealed that the Wondras changed their phones approximately 3 times in a 5-month period. Stacey described purchasing SIM cards to put in his cell phone to evade law enforcement. The GMC pickup was repossessed for non-payment. Stacey then called Kim's Cars, wanting the truck back or to borrow it. They also said to hurry up and sell the vehicle. Stacey further advised they sold the Lexus they had at the time Michael was abducted. Within a few weeks of Michael's disappearance, the Wondra's iCloud data revealed Stacey and Sarah searched for rental houses in other states and financial assistance in different areas. Additionally, a photo of items boxed up was taken on July 30th, 2021, as if they were preparing to move. In summation, Stacey confessed that the 4 members of the household, Stacey Wondra, Sarah Wondra, Brandon Shirtliff, and Adrian Lucian, were all involved in the abduction and unaliving of Michael Vaughen. Their home is in the neighborhood adjacent to the home where Michael lived and was last seen. The neighbor, Dorothy Starkey, saw Michael riding a tricycle near the Wondra home at the time he went missing. The same tricycle was seen in Wondra's garage prior to the abduction. The tricycle was discarded outside the neighborhood off the bluff after Michael went missing. Kay Ramsey, Sarah Wondra's mother, claimed to have found it and moved it to the entrance of the neighborhood, which is refuted by the fact that another neighbor unrelated to the case found it and placed it in Kay's story. Also does not account for the fact that the tricycle was in the house before being discarded and before Michael went missing. Live scent track dogs were deployed. The only house they showed interest was the Wondra house. Same dog showed interest in the area where Michael went missing from and the area where the tricycle was discarded. Based on the foregoing, your affiant is requesting that Stacey Wondra be charged with kidnapping and murder in the first degree, as well as concealment of evidence. Oh, wow. They didn't care. These sick monsters didn't care. Didn't care. So the question is, which one of them went back and moved the remains? Now, Sarah Wondra, her probable cause affidavit, first degree red rum, kidnapping second degree, destruction or concealment of evidence. Let's see. They state the fact that Michael was seen going to some neighbors' homes, asking to play. The neighbors requested that he go back home. Michael's father calling 911. This is all like the same verbiage to begin with, stating that Michael has been searched for, is still being searched for, to no avail at this point. That the Michael's family are not suspects. The neighbors are not suspects. That the canine live scent canine teams went to the area of the Wondra home. They showed interest at the bluff signs at the entrance of the bluff subdivision. They talked about the thorny bush under the tree. the scent track went into the thorny bushes. There was a discarded child stroller under those bushes. They talked about the tricycle, okay? The tricycle being under a tree next to the child stroller. Don't forget, an individual said he took it home. He was going to use the wheel off of it. He never used it, so he left it behind the bluff sign for a neighborhood kid to use. What do you guys think they're saying about the tricycle? Sarah is in jail on other charges, but this is her affidavit. This is supposed to be her affidavit also, so unless there was a mistake, I don't think there was a mistake. They have everything is the same on this. And don't forget, Adrian gave false information to law enforcement. It also says that they slept until noon. They talk about Sarah's social media post. And Sarah's social media post on TikTok and Facebook also changed drastically to religion and asking for forgiveness of her sins. Pre-abduction, Sarah posted infrequently and only showed a few posts over a year's time. From January, July of 21, Sarah posted approximately 3 posts. 2 of those posts were asking for donation to help cats, and 1 that she started a new job in July 11th of 2021. After Michael's abduction, Sarah posted, posts were very religious, spoke about repentance and forgiveness. Sarah's Facebook posts also multiplied in number post-abduction. August 2021, approximately 20 posts. September 2021, approximately 30 posts. October 2021, approximately 202 posts. November 2021, approximately 77 posts. December of 2021, approximately 24 social media posts. So basically what they're showing is that after Michael went missing, this lady was posting a lot. But what interests me, and they talk about this again, is her testimony statements regarding her involvement in criminal behavior stated she had broken all 10 of the commandments. As we know, 1 commandment, thou shalt not kill. She also stated and alleged in her videos that it didn't matter what sin she had committed because God had forgiven her for all of them. She had Michael's missing poster on her refrigerator. On November 15, 21, Sarah was interviewed again. She changed her story, said she was driving the GMC truck to get Brandon's Mercedes from Kuna to tow it back to Fruitland. She said the trip to Kuna was to get the car and was not previously planned, and that it was Stacey who wanted to go get the car at a specific time and date. Sarah said she stopped at Southwest 8th Street and South Arizona on the way out of the neighborhood to input the address into the GPS. This is kind of what threw me too. Big prayers going up for Brandy. And yeah, it is. It is heartbreaking. It is very heartbreaking. So Brandon's mother was out of town, and Sarah stated that Brandon's mother did not allow anyone in her home when she wasn't there. So they parked down the road, and Brandon used the back fence gate on the south side to enter the residence, so her doorbell camera did not capture. But this, I guess this is my question. So he wasn't supposed to be in that house at all. So he was sneaking in, but wouldn't. Okay, he was sneaking in the house, but they said that he took the remains in that house. Oh, Lord. Sarah did not mention wearing a shirt when they spoke with the pedestrian, but previously spoke of trying to cover herself as she was standing along the highway. Why wouldn't she have a shirt on? What? She wouldn't state what shirt she was wearing. Oh, she urinated and removed the shirt she was wearing in order to use. Wait. We got to back this up. Thank you, Thank you, darling. Okay, trigger warning, you guys. Big time trigger warning. Lord. Are you guys ready for this? Okay. Well, they were on the side of the road, okay? Because allegedly her and Stacey parked down the road and he went into the home. She reported she urinated and removed the shirt she was wearing in order to use it as a wipe. Sarah would not provide information on which shirt she was wearing or what happened to it. Upon returning to the neighborhood, Sarah said they spoke with a pedestrian who informed them of the missing child. She did not mention wearing a shirt when they spoke with the pedestrian, but previously spoke of trying to cover herself as she was standing along the highway. So she's trying to say she's standing along the highway without a shirt on while she's talking to somebody who's telling her there's a missing child. She said after returning home, she and Brandon took her blue Toyota and drove around to help search for the child. Again, not mentioning putting another shirt on. In later interviews, Sarah stated she and Brandon went to the gas station for soda and candy prior to helping with the search. Sarah said the night she drove down Southwest 9th Street for the first time and drove past Michael's home, where she saw Michael's mother crying outside. This is sick. This is sick. Thank you, Flies. Trigger warning. This is sick. And anybody who doesn't think this is sick, you're sick also. These people, and I have to say allegedly, even though I'm really, this is sick. These people acting like they were helping look, drove by that home and seen these parents crying. Because I can guarantee you, I know that we talk a lot about Brandy, but I can guarantee you that Do people not? This is freaking sick. So they go get soda and candy. They go and get soda and candy. Sarah said she and Brandon went home due to a number of people already out searching. She was asked about changing her phones following Michael's abduction. She provided 2 reasons. She said they sold the phones because her and Stacey were splitting up. And Sarah said that they sold their phones because a demon told her to. A demon told her to. And, you know, I'm just going to say this. Brandy has been through so much. So much. She was in contact with law enforcement, and I'm sure she knew a lot of this, and she just really couldn't come out and say it on social media. I'm sure she knew a lot of things that she really hasn't been coming out and telling us on social media. So a demon told her to sell her phone. They were still paying on the phone she sold. She said a demon was telling her she needed to leave her husband. Now, I got a question. Was that demon the guy that you were sleeping with in your house with your husband there? Because allegedly, she and Brandon were having a little, you know, a little affair there, right? So the demon told her to leave her husband. Again, stating no passwords, deleted all of her picture. They had a fight. She's got Facebook. She doesn't know any of the passwords. The truck was repossessed. The truck had looked like it was thoroughly cleaned before it was repoed. Now, don't forget that in an interview November 15, 21, Brandon reported that Sarah and Stacey contacted him, told him that they were re-interviewed about Michael's abduction, and said Stacey suggested Brandon come over to their place and create an alibi or write a letter on behalf of Sarah and Stacey saying they were not involved in the abduction. How fucking sick is that? And I'm sorry, but I'm dropping F-bombs right now. How sick is it that these individuals allegedly wanted a letter written to the family stating that they were not guilty of anything? How people are fucking sick, twisted individuals. Okay, woo-saw moment. I am so freaking mad. Again, they state Brandon's mother Tina, said he was depressed, withdrawn, spent more time playing video games and smoking pot. He didn't want to talk to law enforcement. He was avoiding law enforcement. She said Brandon contacted Sarah to verify his story before he spoke with law enforcement. Mom wouldn't tell law enforcement where Brandon was or what his phone number was at the time. And this is one thing I want to say too, going back a little bit. If they were talking about selling this child, that would mean that they know people who would buy children, right? Does that make sense? Out of these 4 people, there had to have been someone that they had to have known who would do that. That's the way I feel anyway. Kay Ramsey, Sarah's mother, was shown the tricycle. She claimed that they found it prior to Michael's abduction and gave a reason her DNA would be on that tricycle. She is 73 years old, and they do not believe that she could have, gotten through that bushy area. Also said that the dogs did dig holes in the backyard, but she did report that the dog had dug up what she later determined to be the ear of a green stuffed animal, that she threw it away. She just threw it away. But she withheld information prior on investigations involving her daughter. One of them was a concealed firearm used in an aggravated assault, in which Sarah was later convicted. October 12, 2022, law enforcement said God told her he was going to help her find the boy. She wrote a testimony that if law enforcement read it, they would locate Michael. This makes me sick. God forgave Hitler for his sins, that God redeemed Sarah for her sins. I am not going to get into Hitler right now, but that is pretty sick. Around this time, listen to this. Are you guys ready for this one? Around this time, Sarah began standing in her driveway, urinating on herself and causing the neighbors to call in for welfare checks. Is she crazy, or do you guys think she knew exactly what she was doing? Right? Well, I mean, hopefully, Mrs. T, they go check out that. I hope they check that place out for sure. So, again, in July of 2023, Christy Cooch said prior to Sarah being arrested, she had a conversation with Sarah before her arrest in 2022, And at that time, Sarah had made a statement that Sarah made a statement that Stacey had been involved with a 5-year-old boy's disappearance. The conversation was recorded. And Sarah commented Stacey had been arrested in April of 2022. If he was being charged with kidnapping of the child. In the recording, Sarah recounts her prior statements claiming Christy misunderstood her, and also Christy had mentioned Sarah's dog digging in the backyard. Again, they specify on November 5th, 2022, at 55 hours, that Stacey contacted the Fruitland police and requested an interview at the Washington County Jail, where he provided vague details about events surrounding Michael's abduction. Stacey said Sarah's religious beliefs and behavior changes started within a couple days after Michael's abduction. He admitted to switching SIMS cards and I am not going to read the specifics again. It states what Stacey told Fruitland police about what he's seen Sarah doing, the duffel bag, who was involved, etc. I'm not going to repeat that again, okay? And again, poor old Stacey is worried about Sarah hurting him. After the interview and phone call to his mother, Stacey wrote an apology to Michael's parents and then attempted to hang himself in the jail. When they served the search warrant on the home, Sarah was there. They talked about not testifying against each other, which is not surprising. I will read the statements again that Sarah Wondra made when police on November 12, 2022, executed a search warrant. She said, "Wow, that is a lot. I definitely did not unalive that boy. The Most High God already told me who did it, so, oh, wow, the Most High God told me that Stacey was the one who unalived him and put him in the yard of Carson's house." She also said the Most High God told her Stacey was the one that unalived and buried him. The Most High God just told me that Stacey was the one who did it. He wants me to make sure you understand I had nothing to do with it. Saying again that Stacey did it and put him in the backyard by the shed. It wasn't actually Stacey who harmed the boy, as officers started to search the residence. Sarah asked several times if the officers had found him yet. They did. They then go into detail of the cadaver dogs, the scent dogs, where they found the scent, and Michael was not there. On October 13, 2023, a follow-up interview was done with Sarah by Detective Juanita Keller and Chris McDonough of the Cold Case Foundation. At the mention of Michael, Sarah had a strong emotional response and began to cry. She then said, "God told me he was going to help me find the boy." Sarah went on to say, "God forgave everybody." while Sarah Wondra was in the custody of the, Payette County Jail. She was emotionally distraught and complained about people saying she did something bad. The jailer asked her what was going on, and she described, "I don't know if it was him. I don't know what body I saw." When the jailer asked what body, she explained, "I don't know, it was in a bag. I couldn't see it." When the jailer realized she was possibly talking about her case, he ended the discussion. All right, we're going to do the summation on this. Let me take a drink of my ginger ale here. I will pull that up. Thank you, hair curlers and crime. She said Brandon's in custody for a probation violation right now. And they're still looking for Adrian, right, Mrs. T? Brandon's affidavit is tonight on another channel. Well, I'm sure Brandy will have it on hers. So I'll wait for Brandy to put it out. Because what happens, and there's nothing wrong with this, but people who get the information put their watermark on it, and Brandy has it out without the watermark. You can also go over to Flies. Flies also has it on her channel. I posted it to my post, and it has Fly's link and Brandy's link to my mind just went blank. Michael's Army. I believe it's Michael's Army. Yes, I'm sorry, Monkey's Army. Monkey's Army. All right, let's in summation, Michael went missing on July 27, 2021. He was observed by Dorothy Starkey on a tricycle near the Wondra home on the date of his abduction. The same tricycle was observed in the Wondra garage prior to Michael's disappearance. Kay Ramsey, Sarah's mother, claimed to have found the tricycle down a cliff and moved it to the entrance of the neighborhood, and that would explain her DNA on the tricycle. James Smith told law enforcement he found the tricycle down a cliff in an area where a canine live scent tracker dog would later alert. James Smith claims he put the tricycle behind the bluff sign where it was recovered by law enforcement. A live scent tracker dog showed interest in the Wondra's residence. Later, cadaver dogs alerted in the Wondra backyard, and there appeared to be evidence of repairs done to the yard to cover up holes. Sarah Wondra's behavior changed drastically after the disappearance of Michael. Sarah's husband, Stacey Wondra, made a confession with regard to his and Sarah's participation in the abduction of Michael. Sarah made statements that Stacey and Adrian had heard him, and that she saw a body in a bag, and changed her version about what happened multiple times. Sarah made comments that she believed her husband may have been involved in the abduction when speaking with one of her foster mothers. Sarah also told Stacey she wouldn't turn on him regarding Michael. Based upon all the foregoing, your Flint believes there is probable cause to believe Sarah Wondra is guilty of kidnapping and murder in the first degree, as well as concealment of evidence. Okay, that is Stacey Wondra's probable cause after affidavit, and also Sarah Wondra's affidavit. So why? Why? The defendant, Stacey Wondra, on or about July 27th of 2021 in the county of Fayette, state of Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation and malice aforethought, unalive a human being, and or did willfully, unlawfully, and deliberately unalive and red rum a human being in the perpetration of or in an attempted perpetration of a kidnapping. The defendant, Stacey Wondra, on or about the 27th day of July 2021 in the county of Fayette, state of Idaho, did willfully and without lawful authority seize and or confine and or lead and or take or entice away Michael with the intent to cause him to be secretly confined and or imprisoned and or detained against his will within the state of Idaho. The defendant, Stacey Wondra, on or between the 27th of July 2021 and the 21st day of May 2025 in the county of Fayette and or state of Idaho, did willfully destroy and or alter or cancel a thing, to wit, a body and or DNA evidence, knowing that the thing or things were about to be produced, used, or discovered as evidence in a felony investigation or injury authorized by law, and with the intent to prevent such evidence from being so produced, used, or discovered. Issuing a check with insufficient funds. This is what he was previously convicted. On or about the 4th day of June 2020, under the name of Stacey James Wondra, the defendant was convicted of a felony of issuing a check with insufficient funds in the county of Canyon, state of Idaho. That is all they have on that one. These people can't keep getting away with this. And this is the Monkey's Army has, I don't know if I can read this because it is pretty small. This is Sarah Wandra's. Okay, let's just take a woosaw moment here. Okay. Oh, they'll get them. They will get them for sure. And look, there are other channels who have very diligently, followed Michael's case and kept the information out there. I tried to give updates when they were there, and I do appreciate Flies for letting me know that these were out there. I'm very guilty of not just being on my computer on YouTube. Well, that's what I thought, but it's not. Are you, is that in my email too? Let me see, hold on. Oh, right here it is. Thank you, I found it. I found it, girl. Thank you very much. I was looking at it under Brandy's. I wasn't looking at it on my email. What's the other ones? Thank you, I got it. Thank you so much. How many names she got? Sarah Ann Wondra, a.k.a. Sarah Ann Ramsey, a.k.a. Sarah Ann Ramsey, a.k.a. Sarah Ann Chambers. Date of birth 2/21/87. Criminal complaint. Count 1, Part 1. Red rum in the first degree. Count 2. Kidnapping in the second degree. Count 3, Part 1. Destruction and or alteration and or concealment of evidence. And then a persistent violator. Wow. Okay, let's just take a breather moment here for a minute. Adrian moves like the wind from west to east. There is no reason, none whatsoever, why they did this. No excuse for it. And I'm sorry, she can act like she's mentally ill all she wants, but I am not buying it. I am not buying it. And I still don't think that they're going to tell on each other. Okay, give me 1 second, you guys. Just 1 minute. Okay, I had to throw my cup of coffee in the microwave because I turned the pot off. Who's Michelle AD? I don't know who you're talking about. Yeah, they had to have planned it. If they put this much in the affidavits and criminal exactly, flies. Why didn't just one of them adults think taking somebody's child was so wrong? Why did they all choose to go along with it? You're right, May. It's horrible. Ugh. I can tell you I'm going to quit drinking coffee because I think I got 1 pot left. I'm not going out in the cold to go get no more. I'm not going to do it. Well, I think a lot of these cases has made us cuss, right? They're all demons. All right, here we go. Count 1, Part 1. The defendant, Sarah Ann Wondra, on or about the 27th day of July 2021, in the county of Payette, state of Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice, aforethought, unalive, and red rum, MB, a human being, and or did willfully, unlawfully, and deliberately, unalive, and red run, MB, a human being, in the perpetration of or in an attempt to perpetrate a kidnapping. Count 2. That the defendant, Sarah Ann Wondra, on or about the 27th day of July 21, in the county of Payette, state of Idaho, did willfully and without lawful authority seize and or confine or lead and or take or entice away MB with the intent to cause him to be secretly confined and or imprisoned and or detained against his will. Count 3, Part 1. Defendant Sarah Ann Wondra, on or between the 27th day of July 21 and the 21st day of May 25, in the county of Payette and or state of Idaho, did willfully destroy and or alter and or conceal a thing, to wit, a body and or DNA evidence, knowing that the thing or things were about to be produced, used, or discovered as evidence in a felony investigation or inquiry authorized by law, and with the intent to prevent such evidence from being so produced, used, or discovered. Count 1 through 3, Part 2. That the defendant, Sarah Ann Wondra, was previously convicted of the following felonies: attempt to commit a Class A felony robbery. That was on or about the 5th day of March 2013. It was under one of her aliases. She also identity theft on or about the 5th day of March 2013. She was convicted of felony of identity theft, aggravated assault and or concealment of evidence on or about the 6th day of October 2023, under the name Sarah A. Wondra. The defendant was convicted of the felony of aggravated assault and or concealment of evidence. Let me tell you guys something. That creepy Brandon, and we've showed it before. I mean, if you go back and look, I have talked about this case and shown different things. He sat in a hot tub drinking beer, talking to JLR. Like nothing. Like nothing. Like nothing. And look, this is the thing I do know. In, certain communities here on YouTube that we're all familiar with, a lot of us came, into the Summer Wells community. A lot of creators, some of us got started that way. talking about the Summer Wells case. And I think that a lot of us do. We look at Michael's case and then we look at Summer's case and I don't know, Michelle didn't say where he was at. Mrs. T said he had a warrant out and he hasn't been arrested yet, is what Mrs. T said. And let me see if I can pull their pictures up again. I have to make sure I got the right one. That's not it. Okay, hold on. Because I know I showed it in the beginning. I showed it. Okay, well, let's watch this news. This is KTVB. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, that's what she said. It was in Indiana. But I'm sure he's not in Indiana anymore. If he didn't show up for court, do you really think he's going to stay in Indiana and take the possibility of getting caught? I mean, for real. I'm starting to get feisty. What's up, KK? I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come up and, I'm getting a little flustered here. Plus, earlier, somebody came into my chat. You know who you are. I would prefer you didn't come over here. Okay? I really would. I don't want to be mean. I'm not going to call you out. But anytime that you come into my chat, I remember everything that transpired. Okay? And it takes my mind off of what I'm talking about. I have no desire to call your ass out. Just please stop coming over here. Okay? There's plenty of other places you can go. I'm just saying. I'm being nice. Okay, this is KTVB. Let's hey babe.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You sound down, sad.
Well, this case is really sad.
I don't even know the updates on it.
Well, they have charged Stacey Wondra, and it seems like they've charged Sarah Wondra too. They've got them both with the red rum and kidnapping.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Have they gave up where his body is?
Nope.
Wow.
No, but they still have the other two also. So, the two other men that were, I have to say, allegedly involved in it, right?
Yeah. That's so sad.
I'll say who before I get off here. Because you're nosy. I'm nosy too. I get it.
Yeah, I'm nosy too. I want to know who it was in the chat.
Let me play this and then we'll do that last. Let me play this first. Okay, here we go.
Breaking news right now.
A warrant has been issued for Stacey Wondra connected to the death and disappearance of little Michael Vaughen. He was 5 years old when he went missing in July of 2021
Thank you,
from outside of his Fruitland home. And now a Payette County lieutenant confirms Wondra has been charged with first-degree murder, second-degree kidnapping, and destruction of evidence.
Back in 2022, police announced that Wondra, his ex-wife Sarah, and two other individuals were suspects or persons of interest in Michael's disappearance. authorities searched the Wondra's home and their yard in Fruitland at that time. Sarah was charged with failure to report a death. That charge was later dropped, though. Stacey Wondra, who you just saw, is serving time out of state right now for a different crime. And the lieutenant we've talked to tells us he has not been extradited back to Idaho yet. Sarah currently serving time in an Idaho prison on unrelated charges.
Now, we did talk to Michael's mom, Brandy Neal. She sent us a statement this morning saying their family is filled with mixed emotions. She said, quote, "All we have wanted is for Michael to come home, knowing that charges are coming forth to these monsters. We pray that they will finally tell us where Michael is. Michael deserves to be home with his family. There's one thing that just keeps ringing in my head right now," she says, and it's something that J.D. Huff said. He said that you cannot take one of our most precious citizens and ever expect us to stop. Now, Fruitland Police Department continues to live up to that statement. This is just the beginning to a very hard road for this family, they say. They say, we are here. We want justice. Michael will get his justice. We want Michael home, and we're never going to stop until we have Michael home.
Bless you, Brandy. Bless Brandy. That is so heartbreaking.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Brandy.
I do too. I mean, and this is what really
How come I
pisses
can't
me
hear
off.
nothing?
Well, I don't know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, lady?
I can't hear you, RC.
You can't hear me at all? Can you guys hear me? Can y'all hear my big mouth? You want to drop down and come back up?
Can y'all hear me in chat?
Yeah, we hear you. I hear you. Can you guys hear us? They don't want to answer. They're like, we're just not going to tell you guys, so you sit up here and look stupid. There,
You can hear
flies
me?
told us. Yeah, flies can hear us.
I can't hear RC.
Well, I don't know why you can't hear me, girlfriend. I got a big mouth. They can hear both of us. They hear us both.
I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Okay, darling. Here, I'll drop the link again. So this makes me angry, and people do, because Summer went missing in June, Michael went missing in July. You can't compare the two. You can't compare the two families no matter how much you try. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that anybody's guilty of anything. I can't do that. I can't do that with Dawn and Candace. Well, let me tell you guys something. These four people, and I'm going to look for their, let me try to pull up their pictures again, all four of them, because I had them up earlier. And I tried to take my tabs down because I end up with so many. Let me see if it's under this one. Because I had so much. That's not it, I don't think. I can try, though. I do want to show you guys these pictures. Okay, girl, you're back up now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you now. I don't know why the hell my phone does that. Sometimes it'll just drop me off here too.
Look
And
how
May,
beautiful.
I got you. May said, don't let the door hit you on your way out, KK. I got you, May. Oh, look
Law
at him.
enforcement had redacted some of their. Oh, I'm
That
sure
little
they
face
did.
makes
Here,
me
Crazy
cry.
Fry. He looks like his mama, doesn't he?
Yeah. And knowing everything she's been through with the cancer and just.
It's horrible.
She is the face of a missing child. You know, like.
She absolutely is.
She is. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm about to cry because give that mama her
Well,
baby, you know, let them have some kind of a peace and move on in life. Damn.
Well, let me tell you guys, there's no way that I can show that video again Brandy begging this piece of crap man to bring her son home. It was disgusting. The
This
dude
is horrible.
It is horrible. It is very horrible. And these babies, and what's sick about it, this is what's sick about it. Don Wells talking about immediately seeing Summer in the resurrection and all that other stuff. And then you've got Sarah Wondra, the piece of crap, who's acting like that she's committed all the 10 Commandment sins and that God has already forgiven her for that.
So fucked up.
I don't understand that.
Do you remember the interview? I think it might have been on Daisy's channel where Don Wells and Brandy both was up there. And Brandy
Oh,
asked him if
yes.
he knew how many days his daughter had been missing, and he didn't know. And she knew the exact number of days that Summer had been missing. She
Well,
told
yeah.
Don
You know
that.
why? You know why he didn't know? Because he wasn't up there to talk about his daughter. He was up
Right.
there to bash Mary.
Right. And the way that Brandy just got his ass, like Brandy knew everything about Summer and stuff. Don, he had no clue.
I think it's getting all 4 of them actually in jail, charging all 4 of them, and then maybe somebody will be offered a plea deal to say where the possibility of Michael being at. But I think they all four are accountable, in my opinion. And I truly, truly hope that they get the most that law can give them. We need our government in every state, I think around the world, need to have harsher punishments when it comes to our children. No plea deals. But then again, I do understand about the plea deals.
They're holding on to that body for a plea deal. They're going to exchange where the body
It-
is for a plea deal. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I can see that
I hope.
happening.
I mean, as long as they get Monkey's body, you know, they're not going to get out of prison. But
Well,
right,
and
Courtney.
let me say this. I don't think anybody, if Brandy does tell prosecutors that let him have a plea deal, get my son home, nobody has a right to open their mouth about it. Michael
Right.
is Brandy's, even though so many of us have taken these missing children and, all of us say, oh, if we would have been there, that wouldn't have happened. We would love these children. We would do this and we would do that. That's Brandy's son. That's Brandy
Right.
and her family. Michael belongs to them. And if Brandy decides that, if she's got to, and I hate to say it, if she's got to give a little bit to get her son back from these fucking sick monsters, then that is totally up to Brandy. And I don't think anybody has a right to say anything about it. For sure.
I agree.
And unfortunately they do that. Like KK said, they will keep things until the last minute. And also, one thing I've noticed too, they have been arresting these people on other charges first. So
I think
Stacey,
I think they're just trying to arrest them on what they can to hold them, you know, so they can't run and stuff.
well, that's like Melody Buzzard. I was kind of updating myself on her, and the mother was arrested for, what was it, false imprisonment or something, or taking a victim and not letting them leave or some stuff. Well, I found out what that was about. Someone had went to her house. This guy went to her house, and he said he was just checking to see if she's all right. He had known her for a number of years. He said her mental health was off. She was paranoid and thought he was there because law enforcement sent him. She locked the doors and wouldn't let him out for a while. She finally let him out, and he went straight to law enforcement and told them. That is what she is in jail for right now.
I agree,
So
Flies. I
she's
would give a
still,
plea too to get my baby back.
yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. But you know, it was just, it was so, I will never get that out of my head. Brandy crying to that piece of shit, begging him just to say where Michael was. And you know, he kept saying he didn't know where Michael was. And is that truthful? That could be the truth. That could be the truth. When 4 people are involved, guess what? If somebody can go get the remains and move them without the other 3 knowing it, you know, that is a
Agree.
possibility. That is a possibility. So I can't sit here and say he definitely knows where Michael's at, but I think he definitely knew what
I think he's been moved
transpired.
around too.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah,
like Harmony
well,
Montgomery. I hope it's not as horrible as that, his little body, but it just,
yes, I
we may
did
never
first.
know.
I did. I read both. I read Stacey's and Sarah's. So I have to agree. Hey, Opal, I have to agree that I do think that some things were left out, you know, for that will come out in trial, if there's
They
even a
never tell the
trial.
public everything, you know, until trial or whatever. They
Well,
never,
I
until they
mean,
have a
there's
solid
a lot of
case.
things in that affidavit, and you know, it leaves, I think, a lot of us having a lot of questions.
Just makes you wonder, is there more kids they've done this shit to
Yeah.
that nobody knows
What
about?
would have made them think to take a child to sell them, right?
Right. Poor little monkey, though. He's adorable.
I know. It is very hard sometimes to cover these cases and see these babies and, you know, not know. I couldn't imagine. I can't imagine him looking at these fucking people's faces being terrified. Being terrified. Now, obviously, they talk about this tricycle or whatever it was. It was there in the garage, allegedly, before he went missing. Were they letting him play with that? Was that a way to get Michael closer with them?
Could have been, you know, grooming
Letting
him and
him,
stuff. They could have been grooming him for a long time before Brandy or anybody even knew anything, you know?
we said she don't think they wanted to sell him. Well, that's what they said, that there was talk about selling him. It's sad. It is just so sad.
Yeah, I don't think I can read that affidavit. It'd probably kill my heart.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they gave it, allegedly, yeah, it was a dog toy. It was a dog toy. And then
Wow.
her mother supposedly finds a piece of the dog toy ear in the yard and she throws it away. Well, they ain't gonna have hair curlers and crime. I don't know where your proof is that Adrian had the buyer. unless you're saying that's what he said, that Adrian had the buyer. I mean, because even after I read it, I don't want to relive it in my mind what I just read. I can tell you that. Yeah, it was allegedly a monkey toy. How fucked up
wow.
is that, KK? You know what
That's
else is fucked up? They're out there, right? They're out there looking around, acting like they're looking for Michael, and she talks about seeing Brandy out in the yard, fucking hysterically crying. How fucked up is that?
Wow.
Yeah, sick shit. Sick shit. But I mean, Stacey said that it was an accident, that his wife unalived Michael, is what he said. It was asphyxiation. Yeah, we'll know more once all the players are confined by law enforcement. I have a feeling they're all going to come out and spill the beans on each other, for sure. Yeah, I think so too. I think any child in the neighborhood was going to be a target. I think it was premeditated. I think that they had already talked about needing money. Supposedly their business wasn't doing that great. They had talked about prior, they were just letting different individuals come and stay with them and work for them out of the kindness of their heart. Yeah, it was really strange. Really, really strange shit.
Like, when I'm struggling for money, selling a child has never fucking come to my mind.
Girl, me
Never.
neither.
Like,
Me
it
fucking
takes one
neither.
sick person for that to come to their mind. Some
Yeah.
of the shit these characters in these cases do,
Well, I'm telling you,
it blows
it's
my mind.
it's freaking wild. Freaking wild. For sure. But you know what? She can say a demon said all that stuff to her, but God's going to have his say in the end. And I don't think God's going to be too kind about it. I hope not, anyway. I think they deserve a lot more than life in prison. I really do. And I think even with plea deals, I mean, what is
They're not
life?
getting out.
Well, the thing about it is, even on death row, there are inmates, okay, in prison that may be getting life, that actually unalive people in prison to try to get on death row, because they feel like the death row inmates get a lot more than what they get.
Yeah, they do. And most of them
Very,
end up
very true.
dying on death row and don't even get prosecuted, you know?
Right, right. I mean,
But they're not going to get out of prison. Even if they take a plea deal, it's not going to be to walk free, you know? In my opinion. I've seen strange
yeah.
shit happen, but I just don't see that.
But yeah, children can get out of the house within seconds, for sure.
The motive was $10,000.
Well, they talked about, I think one person getting 10,000. So they were going to sell for a lot more than that. They were just talking about how they were going to split the money. So I don't know how they can't get them for premeditation.
Right.
I really don't. For sure. Oh, and when I was talking earlier, I wasn't talking about Gypsy. I love Gypsy. I was not speaking of Gypsy. Little Wing came in. Thank you, Little Wing, for coming in earlier. I appreciate that.
Little Wing?
Yeah, Little Wing.
I haven't heard her name in forever.
I know. I was surprised she popped in. I was glad to see her. I hadn't seen her for a long time. For sure.
So who came in your chat?
Okay. So I'm gonna
We
be
ain't gonna let
very.
you give it up. You gotta give it up.
I know everybody's nosy. I taught you guys to be freaking nosy.
I was getting ready to say you taught us well.
Okay, anyhow, I had actually blocked this person. I must have not have blocked them forever. I probably just blocked them for days just to get them not to come in here. But there is a person out there, and I'll tell you her name, Nano for Life.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Name.
I cannot, I can't deal. I can't deal. And anytime I see that person, my mind goes to the bullshit, and I don't need that. I don't need that. And, last time she came in, I just blocked her and didn't say anything about it. And then she pops back in. I don't have anything to offer her over here. Not at all. And I just think that she would do better on other people's channels than mine,
I've seen her over
Um,
here a few times. I don't know who she is, but
Well, I just block her. She was around when, in the beginning when, me and Nana's Angels were pretty close, and it was a big shit show about a phone number, and she told me that Myra was bullying her, and then Myra got me on a phone, and it ended up being a three-way call, and Myra said, "Did I bully you for that number?" And she said no, after making me believe that Myra had bullied her over a freaking phone number. I mean, it was just a lot of shit. She asked me for my notes in the Summer Wells case. It was just a
okay, I
lot
know
of,
you're talking about. I know
yeah,
you're
it was
talking
just
about.
it was just a lot of shit. And I'm not gonna sit here and talk bad about the girl, but I just would prefer if she didn't come over here. And there's no sense for me to have to keep blocking somebody. Just don't come over here. Just
Yeah,
don't.
I remember this. Her trying to get all your information on
I
Summer's
just
case
don't
that you had
have.
done the research on.
Yeah, and
I remember that.
it's just the fact that when she comes into chat, my mind goes to that bullshit, because that's all it was a bunch of bullshit. So, no, thank you.
Hair curlers and crime. How come I know that name? I think I know who
Because
it
she's
is.
hair
Is she?
curlers and crime.
Is it Lisa? Not crazy Lisa. The real pretty lady. Is that who I'm
Well,
thinking
there's a
about?
lot of pretty Lisas on YouTube.
I only
Which
know
pretty
one, and
Lisa are
she's.
you talking about?
Oh no, this one's pretty hot. I don't know if this is who I'm thinking about.
Watch out.
I'm
Watch
just
out,
saying.
hot
Hey,
Lisa
I'm a
out
girl's
there.
girl.
Watch
What
out,
I'm
hot
thinking about
Lisa
looks like a
out
Barbie
there.
doll.
If you see KK girl, you better run.
I was right. That's who it is. Hi, Lisa.
That is so funny.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She's gorgeous.
Girl, there's some really, one thing I'll say about Sweetie Pilo,
Yes,
she's
hair
she's
curlers.
a very pretty lady too.
She
Oh,
is.
she was hot. She was hot
She ain't hotter
because
than this one in our chat.
no, she was hot, mad hot.
Oh,
She was mad. Um, because I guess because she said that if someone
night, May
used
May.
love you, May May. She said if somebody used the content and was calling her and Ziggy and Fred and Reverend Donna names, that she was going to strike them. And I guess this is weird, but I guess somebody used that content. She didn't like how they used it. She tried to strike them or something, and Sweetie Pilo ended up losing her monetization for that live. But the other person that she said was not being nice got to monetize it. It was weird. It was
I
really
agree,
weird.
cursed. Yeah, I'm talking about Lisa K or whatever the no receipt having ass one is crazy.
Yeah,
She's a fucking mess.
she has gotten a lot messy, ain't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She
I don't
got
know
a
if
little
she's just
messy.
gotten a lot more messy or people's just seeing it more now and people's calling her out on it, you know?
I think people have called her out on it before. It was 6 Up. Yeah, I knew it was 6 Up, cursed. It was 6 Up. 6 Up used it. This is the thing. I think a lot of people just kind of put up with her, right? I think that a lot of people, was like, that's just Lisa and letting it go. But it got to be more and more and more and more. And
Well, it
people
pissed me off
really
because she
started
was on
getting
your
pissed
panel
off.
doing her bullshit, you know, and I didn't want to come back on you. No,
No,
you're my
girl,
friend.
that's when I had said something, I can't remember what it was. And remember, she said, why don't you go look up Benny Keys' stuff and find it? And that's
Yeah.
when you
Yep.
come up and you were like, oh, hell, fuck
Uh-uh.
no, lady.
Yeah. And
Right.
I said something to you the wrong way, and I'm sorry for that. I can't remember. Said something like, "Why are you letting her do this?" or something, and I didn't mean it like that. I don't know what I was pissed off at her, not you, because I know
Right. No, I
you
got
let
it.
her talk, and because you give everybody a chance. But when she told you go look on Benny's page for
Yeah.
something, and
And that's when
it
I
was just
said,
too much.
yep, that's when I said, I ain't looking for nothing. Usually, if I say something, it's factual. And if I don't remember if it's factual or not, I say I don't remember if it's factual or not. But I agree with Flies. She got messed up in the wrong community to be doing that bullshit. And, she got messed up and started, fucking with the wrong people, and she shouldn't have done that.
Right. Curse, I don't know if people do watch people because they're beautiful. I don't, no offense to hair curlers. I don't watch her. I don't watch nobody on here.
I
If
don't.
a woman's beautiful to me, I'm going to tell them they're beautiful because that's who I am. I'm a girl's girl through
Right.
and through. I tell
Well,
people, strangers, they're beautiful all the time if they
well,
are.
let me say this though, Cursed. Some people do love beautiful people.
They do.
They don't like the ugly people. Why do you think I only got 2,000 subs? They think I'm ugly.
I mean, I was friends with Cher for 5 fucking years. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, 5
Just
years is a
saying.
long time.
And I'm not trying to put people down, but I liked her for who she was at the time. She changed some, but she's always been trash. But I'm just saying, I don't watch people for their looks.
Well, me neither. But some
But
people
hair
do.
colors is beautiful.
Right. Well, yeah, I always tell people who I think are beautiful, I'm like, hey, if I went that way, I would tap that. That's what I say. I would tap that girl if I went that way. I would,
Yeah.
for real.
There's a lot of beautiful people in this world that don't even realize they're beautiful.
That's why I lose subs daily. I am a Oh, shut up, Flies. You are not. That's funny.
I used to think the world of them, but they both changed. Like, she used to not be that bad. She really hasn't. And
I think with me, and this is just my share story, and I don't even think I've really talked about it that much because I just kind of blew it off. But when Summer's
true
cases,
cursed.
when I kind of became intertwined with her, I can't even remember exactly what it was even about, but she was telling me that girl power and all girls need to stick together and to monetize my
Share.
stuff, and that Dawn and Candace were watching me, TBI was watching me, law enforcement was watching me, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't say nothing anyway. And then it was, I went over to her channel, and she was going to have me on panel, and she kept dropping me a link to a live from a previous live. She wasn't even dropping the correct link, and I just felt really disrespected up there. And then she come over and was talking about the SDA church or something, and Don wanted to
I think I
come up,
remember all
and
that.
I knew it was just going to be a fight or whatever, and and that was kind of the end of it. I never never kind of went over there again. I kind of think too, because if you really pay attention to some creators, they'll start going to different places just to get the subs, just to
Oh, they
get people
will.
subs.
But I want to
And
give Cher credit where it's due. Like, she does genuinely try to help other people grow their channel. She
right,
really did help me a lot. I'm not going to lie. She's the one that pushed me to even start a channel,
right,
like with the Kylie Rodney stuff, because I was trying to get her to cover the Kylie Rodney stuff that I was finding out, because I was digging. I'm a digger in these cases. And
right.
I kept finding, she said, put it on your channel. And I'm like, no, because I didn't know how to do all that. And then finally I
Well,
did. And
I
she
mean,
helped me.
really didn't. I kind of just blew it off and chalked it up to another learning experience on YouTube.
Yeah.
Um, because I know she was out there and had started her channel a long, long time ago. And I'm just the type of person, I'm not gonna sit and dwell on shit, right? But I know that I won't go back over there. So,
Yeah.
not
She
at,
has changed though for the worst, and I
you
hate
just
that.
learn. I mean, you just learn different creators and how they do their thing, and it's like, okay, if that's the way you do it, that's the way you do it. But I do everything a little bit different. And, you know, now at some point, would I have had a conversation with Don Wells? I don't know if that would have happened. I don't know if it ever happened. I always said there was no way that I would ever have a conversation with him, only because I am not going to fight with somebody. I'm not going to
Yeah.
get into arguments or have the N word said or anything like that.
Yeah, fuck that.
But Fly said, I had the pleasure of timing Don out that night. It felt good not to let him speak his resurrection BS. Absolutely. I mean, I could tell also, and I mean, I can show you guys where he left my channel. He was mad, and he was mad at Cher. Cher left my channel and went to hers, and because I wasn't going to deal with them fighting. And I always said I wouldn't let Don Wells up here, and I didn't want to backstab my people.
Mhm.
So I kind of held firm to that I wouldn't let him up. But he goes over to his own channel and he says that he is going to, he starts preaching this SDA stuff, if that's what you want to call it. And he has a dress shirt on to start with, I think. By the time he's done, he's got his shirt off, his eyes are rolling up in the back of his head. And he's like, I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna say a prayer. And
Don't
his
pray for me, dude.
well, no, his prayer is for America. America's really messed up right now. Like, we all don't know that.
I hate how he uses religion as a crutch. I really do, because he's
Yes,
far.
absolutely.
I'm not knocking anybody, he probably does believe in God. I don't know if he does, but like his actions just don't match.
They don't. They really don't. And, that was my thing because the way that he talks about the resurrection, why would you go around to people right after your daughter goes missing and the first words out of your mouth is, I'll see her in the resurrection? I
Karen had the
don't,
holy
you know,
water out that night.
that was weird, wasn't it, Cursed? I've got a clip of it. I'll show it to you because I clipped it. I mean, the dude is freaking. And the weird thing about it is, and I think I got that clip too. I've got Ernie Shell. Well, why aren't my clips coming up? YouTube, what is wrong
Prison
with you?
religion. Yeah.
Um, I've got a clip of Ernie also where he's sitting I think he was sitting in this taxi or something. No, where was he? He could have been with Sander or something. I don't know. I'll have to find it. But he absolutely, his eyes were rolled into his head just like Don's were. It
Wow.
was freaking weird.
Hair colors, a lot of people get prison religion. When I was in prison, fuck, it was 20 years ago. But I would go to church just to get out of my cell, you know, and a lot of people do that.
I
I
call it
wasn't in it
jail
for the right
Jesus.
reason. Yeah, I wasn't back then. I wasn't going for the right reasons. I mean, I go now, but I think
Yeah,
I'm doing it for the right reasons. But
yeah, I call it jail Jesus. That's what I call it. Jail Jesus. I got a whole shitload of stuff on Fred in here in my clips. A lot. I got Justin too, being a goober and picking his nose and shit.
I don't like Justin. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried to like that boy, and I can't do it.
Well, I know that with Michael's case, he gave himself a lot of attention there because even when the news was showing, I guess he had requested some of the FOIA requested some stuff, and they accidentally gave him the Stacey Wondra stuff, talking to law enforcement. So he put his watermark on it, and everybody knew that it was him for sure.
Yeah, he's a greedy fucker. I don't know. He just creeps me out, and how he's in these missing children cases. It don't set right with me. I'm sorry. I'm not saying nothing about him. Maybe I am, but I, I don't know. He's just. I don't think he should be trying to be the cover person for missing children.
Um, I've got stuff down of clips that I thought were mine. Okay, this is ridiculous because I know it's in here. That's on Lil Wayne Morlock right there. But I guess Donna and them did a part 2. So,
Have you seen where that girl? They found her unalived on a cruise ship. The 18-year-old
yes,
girl.
yeah, she was young, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm. You should cover
They
that.
they don't know how she died though, right?
Right.
Isn't that
There's been
crazy?
rumors come out that they found her under a bed wrapped in a sheet or something, but I don't know. The family is saying something different, I think. I don't know. But it's pretty interesting.
Well, it's international waters when stuff happens on a cruise ship. So,
Mm-hmm.
you
Cruise ships
know,
are usually pretty dang safe. You don't hear about much happening on one. I went on one. It was the best vacation I ever had in my life. But
I've never been on a cruise ship.
you would love it, RC.
I would probably be puking the whole freaking time.
No, you really like you can get these patches to put behind your ear, but you really see, I get motion sickness on a boat, but on a ship, it's a totally different level of, you don't really feel it move unless the waters are choppy and stuff, but it's amazing.
I know my aunt and my stepmom went on a cruise, and my aunt got an infection in her ear.
Oh, goodness.
It was gross. It was really
Goodness.
gross.
It's kind of like the people that go on these cruises. I don't, maybe Bahamas. I can't remember where, and they swim with the pigs. It's like pigs are disgusting out of water. How are you going to get in water where they shit and everything else?
Well, that's in the ocean. I mean, I think they have pigs on islands, and then these people,
Yeah, they get in
you
the
know,
waters with them. It's really fucking gross.
well, I know I found it. Okay, hold on. I call this clip I call the devil and Don Wells. This is wild. This is from Dee Dee. Dee Dee caught this, so here we go. Are you ready? Oh,
I guess it's all right. I'll say a prayer and I'll close and get off here. But anyways, so anyways, I'll pray and Dear Lord God, we thank you for these truths. We thank you for the understanding of how Revelation and Daniel, how it unlocks Daniel, and I'm at a loss for words. Please forgive me. But we pray, Lord, we pray for help in understanding these things, where things are just getting so bad in the United States and the world. It ain't like the earth, like it says in there, the United States was like a lamb. It's getting far from the Christian lamb type atmosphere it used to be. But we pray, Lord, to please help us understand.
His eyes rolled up in his head. I don't believe for a second he went to Fred's and said it, nor do I believe. You don't believe he said it to them? What about the tree trimmers? Flies? What about the
Summer
tree
looks
trimmers?
just like him.
You think she does?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit and say the man didn't love his daughter.
I think he loved her with all his heart, in my opinion.
But I don't know. I think listening to him talk and things that he says,
Yeah, I agree.
it was a weird ass kind of love. Well, I don't know. You can't believe anything that Fred says. For real. I mean, that's just a game, I think. That's just all a freaking game.
I believe
And
Jody Sue more than any of them.
do you?
And I'm not really a fan of hers, but
Has it been proven they was real tree trim? No, you're right. No. That is the sad thing, because I think with the tree trimmers, I don't think they've actually showed their faces or nothing when they've been talking. I think
I don't
that,
blame them.
But what got me about the video or the live that Reverend Donna and all of them did, right, was the fact that in the description she said, if we get this many views and this many likes, then we'll do a part 2. And I thought, if this is for Summer to help in any way with that, why are you saying that you have to get so many likes and stuff to do a part 2?
Yeah, that's
So,
for money. That's a money
I
grab.
mean, now I don't have any. I mean, I privatized it. I probably shouldn't have, but I did.
The one from yesterday?
Yeah. And just because I didn't need to hear her shit, because I'm sure after what she heard us saying, she probably would try to strike me or whatever. But I have no desire to hear what they have to say at all. And the thing about it is, if Donna Serafina had the resume that she's putting out and all this great stuff that she's did for other cases and stuff, why wouldn't law enforcement give her the time of day? Why wouldn't they give her the time of day? Could it have been because the first thing she said was, donate and so I can buy an RV, right?
Right.
Fred was going to blame before the Serafina interview. I'm no psychic either. Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing about it, because you can have a conversation with somebody and you can actually lead them to say specific things. You can lead them into a conversation.
Yeah.
And, Ziggy's never let Fred speak on his own, ever. And, it's like, let the guy talk. But Ziggy acts like that she knows everything, just because Fred's
noticed
told her
that.
she knows it all. And you know, she can keep sitting over there acting like she knows everything. I don't watch her. I quit watching Ziggy a long time ago. A whole long time ago. But my thing is, why, after all these years, are you coming out now and saying, yep, she went on an RV to travel to go to the places that she's seen in her visions? Oh, she was going to have to hire a driver too. Yep. So not only did she want the RV, but she wanted the driver too. It's like, whatever. Whatever. My point was, if she thought she knew where that little girl was, she could have asked for Airbnb and a plane ticket to get there. Someone from the area would have met her that she could trust. If she trusted Fred that much, why didn't her and Fred hook up? Why did she keep the conversation she had with Fred in jail away from everybody? I don't understand that. Well, he ain't that shy. He was calling creators in the middle of the night, wasn't he? Freaking weirdo. Freaking weirdo. But
That's
no,
messed up.
yeah, that's messed up. That is messed up, everybody. Thank you, we adore you, lady. Adore you. But yeah, she could have got her poor old gray-haired daddy to drive her limousine like Dr. Hook did. Oh, that is funny. No, that's my thing, you know. All these psychics saying they know what happened. Where is she then? Where is she? The only psychic that I know that did not come out and keep doing reading after reading after reading is Sloan Bella. She is the only one. She did a reading, I believe it was even before the boys went missing, and she never did another one. She never did another one. So, and I played it quite a few times on my channel, just talking about it and going over it, you know. Sometimes going back and playing things again, you kind of pick up on stuff that she started a GoFundMe in the Fallow kids' names that got, wow, that's nuts. Yeah, she said, from what I remember, she said that she's the one who wrote to law enforcement and basically told them where the kids were at and how to find the kids and, you know, what happened and all this other stuff. So yeah, she took credit for that. She absolutely took credit for that. It's just sad. Very, very sad. But no, I didn't even monetize this one. I want, for this live, if anybody wants to donate to Brandy. Donate to Brandy this time, you guys. You know, she definitely needs real support right now. You know, that's what kind of got me, because we watched the Wells and their bullshit and everything that they did. I even seen a clip of someone that we know, and I'm not going to say his name, on his, I believe it was on his channel, coming out bashing Brandy, saying that she was doing Coca-Cola and all kinds of shit. Wow. And I'm like, why would you fucking do that? But you ain't never come out and said anything about Dawn and Candace. Make that make sense. Wow. Doesn't talk about the Summer Wells case. but came out and said that about Brandy. Hey, my motto is, if people are showing you the way that they are, that's the freaking way they are. No doubt about it. Oh, I can show it to you. I could show it to you, but I'm not going to because, you say that guy's name 3 times, he fucking shows up, and I would prefer he didn't. For real. But yeah. Yep. But a lot of these people who do that, it would be sad to me if that transpired. Their children went missing and everybody attacked them, just to be attacking them or whatever. I just don't think anybody has that right.
I agree.
Dawn, the reason Dawn people do it with Dawn and Candace is because they came out and showed us. They came out and did it in front of us. So, yeah, people are going to call them out on their shit. They are. And I don't know what Candace is doing, but she needs to grow her ass up. She needs to grow the fuck up and start telling the truth instead of playing a stupid fucking game.
I agree.
So, but I don't know. I think she's back with Dawn again now. I mean, that's the craziest shit. That's the craziest couple. And you better believe they made a shit ton of money off of people. A shit ton of money off people.
Definitely.
Where did it all go? It sure went bye-bye very fucking quickly, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Dawn talked about people getting the kids that had more money, like rich people. The way Dawn talked was like rich people aren't fucked up people either because they're rich. And it's like,
they're usually more fucked up.
Yeah, no doubt. She's hanging with some sick folks on YouTube, that's for sure. They're all fucking alike. They're all alike. I mean, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But, Jesus is going to get all of them one day. And I can guarantee you, Sarah Wondra, she can spout the devil all she wants to. She's just a sick fucking human being. And, the more she can spout that stuff and pee on herself out at the end of the driveway, and, how fucking sick of it is to say, yeah, we were parked down the street. I got out and took a pee, and I took my shirt off to wipe myself. Why would... The only reason I could even think that she would say that is that the possibility of finding her fucking shirt with weird-ass DNA on it. I mean, these people are just sick. Just
they
fucking...
are.
4 fucking adults. 4 adults took a child and terrorized him. Terrorized him. Put him in a duffel bag, allegedly. Put him in the back of a truck. Drove with him to a home where he was allegedly taken out and put in somebody's room. And that's sick.
People that harm children have a special place in hell, period. I mean,
well, that's what Jesus says.
Yeah.
What is that? I'm gonna find that quote. Harming a child. Let's see. And people need to realize that, I mean, okay, so let's talk about Melody Buzzard real quick. Mom was seen with a woman who had like purple hair, they said. Okay. It wasn't Melody, they said. She's not saying where Melody's at. So we don't know if Melody's somewhere where she's being taken care of. Or, I mean, it almost sounds like Melody was dropped off somewhere. This other woman was picked up to be taken to a different location. I mean, none of it makes fucking sense. All right, let's see if I can find that. And that's got me about Don Wells when he was making the comment about whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a great millstone hung around his neck and be cast into the sea. Yep. Yep. So, I mean, you can take that for whatever you think it means. But the Gospels show God's deep care for children through his willingness to give them his time, protect their innocence, and affirm their high status in God's eyes. Okay, so Don Wells talks about Summer being worth her weight in gold, right? He talks about Summer being worth her weight in gold. So, maybe that's why he, tries to, it's weird because I think Don kind of thinks that with that religion, does he think that by something happening to Summer, that would take all his sins away? Does that make sense to you, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When his disciples tried to turn children away, Jesus was indigent. Well, not indigent, indignant, and said, "Let the little children come to me, do not hinder them, for to such belongs to the kingdom of God." That's sad. Truly, I say to you, unless you turn and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. That's Matthew 18:3. So, but the one with the millstone hung around the neck is the one that comes to my mind every time. So, basically, getting a child to sin, Jesus doesn't like that. And they use that a lot when they talk about children and trafficking, because what are they doing? They're making children sin.
Yeah.
They're teaching children how to sin.
And they don't know no different.
No, they don't. They absolutely don't. It's a sad world we're living in right now.
It is.
For sure.
I think it's been fucked up all along, but since internet stuff come along, we're more aware of things,
Yep. Yep. And Don made a statement that he wished that Summer knew Jesus, that he wished Summer knew God. And I remember it was Jeff Bobo said that I don't believe that God would hold that against a child, right? So, Dawn, it's really weird because Robin Lane stated that she wanted the pastor to be with her in interviews because he could explain their Bible and the SDA teachings more than she could. And I thought, you're a member of that church and you don't even understand what your teachings are? I mean, it didn't make any sense to me. I don't know about anybody else. So, kind of sad.
It is. Don just
Kinda
says
sad.
whatever.
He does. He does. So, I don't know. I hope that Michael does get to come home to Brandy. And, I hope Summer gets to come home too. But even if she's found, I doubt very seriously if anybody on YouTube's going to have access to her. That, they possibly might come on and say that she's been found and, if she's okay or not okay or whatever. But I can almost guarantee you that access to her is going to be very slim.
Yeah, she'll
And
probably get a name change and everything.
yeah. And well, one of the things that always got me was, and this is a fact, there are individuals who have come out even on YouTube and said that, they were friendly with Candace or Dawn or whatever, in the hopes that if Summer comes home, that they'll have access to Summer.
That's
And
fucked up.
that is messed up. That is really messed up. So people are cray cray, lady.
Mm-hmm.
They
I thought
are.
I was crazy, but damn, there's a whole new meaning to it out there.
Well, I'm going to figure out what's going on with my StreamYard and YouTube because every time I've been scheduling a live, it's been showing up twice. So I know YouTube sent a message out and said that what is happening when these lives are showing like that, then the small amount of change that you get through YouTube for a live, somehow it's doubling itself. So they're trying to fix it. So, but I'll figure it out and we'll get it straightened out for sure.
There's always something going on with StreamYard and YouTube.
I know. Crazy. Well, I should just put the other location for Facebook is what I should do. For sure. For sure, for sure. But I love you, KK. I'm gonna get off here
All righty.
and
You have a good evening. Love you.
walk around a little bit. Love you too. You know where I'm at if you need me. You got my number.
Yes.
All right, darling.
Love you.
Love you. Bye. All right, you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Please give Brandy all the love and support. She really needs it. She's needed it the whole time. But now more than ever, please show her kindness. For sure. Poppy, adore you. We thank you. Flies, adore you. Thank you guys, all of you guys, for being so supportive. Curse, thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you guys so much. And I know some people probably think, I'm thank you, Opal, too. Thank you so much. But sometimes I just feel the way that I feel about certain things, and I would rather just nip it in the bud than just do it and nip it in the bud and not have to go over it again. We love you. Thank you, May May. Thank you, guys. I know it's hard for you guys, being in different countries, the time and stuff like that. Poppy, I know you're working. Flies, I know you're always busy. But I appreciate you guys so much. And you guys, please go check out Flies on the Coastlaw. Go check out True Crime with Eve. You know, I can't remember who else was in here. But I'm here. Peace out, you guys. I will catch you later. Now, hopefully the next live we do, I want to have some fun because we've been talking about some real heavy stuff and we need to have a woo-saw moment for sure. All right. Bless the children. Pray for all the missing children that they are found. Pray that they're not coming to harm. For sure. Peace out, you guys.